In this video, I'm going to be going over an amazing Bible that I have in my collection. It's one of the oldest complete Bibles that I currently own, making it a really valuable and desirable piece. However, you'll see in the beginning of this video that the Bible is in really rough shape and condition. But I do something really unique and very interesting to this Bible to make it far more valuable and in much better condition. So you'll want to stick it out for the full video to see what exactly that transformation looks like. And of course, enjoy a dramatized story of events about Bible restoration and rebinding that ties directly into what this video is about. It's 1548, and the bells of London ring with change. King Edward VI, a boy barely in his teens, has brought a wave of Protestant reform to England. The old Latin Mass is fading, while the English Bible now echoes through cathedral walls. And among the fiery young preachers leading this movement is John Bradford, a scholar from Cambridge with a soft voice and a fierce conviction that Scripture alone should rule the conscience of man. He's appointed chaplain to the king. Crowds gather to hear him preach. To many, he seems destined to become one of the architects of a new reformed England. But history is rarely kind to its prophets. In 1553, just a few years later, Edward dies. His half-sister, Mary Tudor, takes the throne, and with her, the old faith returns in force. Within months, Protestant pulpits fall silent. Churches are stripped of English Bibles, and John Bradford, once the king's chaplain, becomes a heretic. He's arrested in January 1554 and thrown in the Tower of London, the cold fortress that has swallowed so many before him. The man who once preached before kings now prays behind bars. The tower is dark and damp. Rats skitter across the floor. Bradford's only comfort is his Bible, a small Latin volume printed in Paris just 3 years earlier. And day after day he turns its pages. He writes prayers in the margins, sermons between the lines. When ink runs low, he mixes soot and wine to make more. When pages tear, he stitches them with bits of thread from his own sleeves. Some say he even rebound the book himself, using scraps of parchment and linen to hold its spine together, a handmade act of faith against the decay of time. In that narrow cell, the Word became his world. The guards later said that they could hear him reciting the Psalms late into the night, his voice steady, his tone calm. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. On July 1st, 1555, Bradford is led from his cell to the open square of Smithfield, a place where heretics are burned. Witnesses say he carried a small book, perhaps that same Bible, and pressed it to his chest before giving it to a friend. As the wood was piled and the flames took hold, he looked to heaven and said, "We shall have a merry supper with the Lord this night." And the fire consumed him. But the words he wrote didn't die that day. And today, that Bible, or one like it, still rests quietly in Chetham's library. Its margins are full of his handwriting. Its pages bear the faint stains of use, or perhaps of tears. Whether it was truly the one he held in the tower, or whether that prison Bible was born of legend, no one can say for certain. But as you stand there, looking down at its pages, it's easy to imagine the candlelight flickering on the walls of his cell, the soft turning of paper, and a voice, calm and unwavering, reading words of encouragement in the face of death. A preacher who became a prisoner, and a Bible that outlived the fire. So the particular Bible that I have in my collection, like I said in the introduction, is in really rough shape. It's in bad condition. It's obviously done because of its age, but you'll see, I'm going to try and lift it up here. It's this Bible, printed in the year 1498. So it's a very old Bible, over 500 years old. It's from what's called the incunable era. That is Latin for the infancy stages of the printing press. So this is obviously on the very tail end of that, making it still a very old Bible, but not as old as it can be. It's in really terrible condition. You can see the leather here is completely separated from the bookboard. This bookboard as well is terrible shape and is completely detached from the Bible itself. You can see the wood plate there, and even this leather is starting to fall off. It's just in terrible shape. The spine here is breaking apart and is actually a part of the Bible that's completely separated. I can take the two pieces apart like this, showing that it is just in really rough shape. Now, when it comes to Bibles like this, especially from this time period, you want to do everything you can to preserve the Bible that's currently existing. They're actually falling apart so much that I have like brown dust or material from the leather just falling apart. It's in really, really rough shape. But when you have Bibles like this, you want to preserve it as much as possible. So a lot of collectors or other dealers, people who will restore these Bibles, will do just that. They'll try and restore it and preserve what's currently there rather than completely doing away with it and making it better or newer. But this Bible is, quite frankly, too far gone. It's in such bad condition that I'm not sure that it can even be restored. Additionally, I don't believe that this bookboard or this binding is the original binding. So for me to get this rebound really makes the most sense, because it's in horrible shape and you want to preserve what's called the text block, or the actual leaves within the Bible, because you want to be able to pass this on for generations to come. And at its current state, we're not able to do that. I can show you a little bit of what the Bible looks like. Now you might say, oh, you should probably wear gloves with that. I really don't need to unless I was just trying to keep my hands clean, but actually wearing gloves is more detrimental to the actual Bible than if I were to wear them. So I'll show you real quick some of the leaves. This is called like a glossed Bible, meaning that it has commentary and different texts within it. So the center text blocks there within the Bible, that is the actual scripture. The surrounding text is commentary to Scripture, and the commentary is by a man named Nicholas de Lyra, or Nicholas of Lyra, a very well-known and popular commentator of that time. Luther, I believe, even used some of his works as well. So this is a beautiful Bible, written in Latin, as well as the commentary to it is also produced in Latin. So this is a fascinating and beautiful Bible, but in this video I'm going to be doing a restoration of this Bible. So again, you'll want to watch the full video, because in a few moments here I'm going to be showing you what this very Bible looks like being rebound. I'll be sending it off and getting it back here, so I'll be picking up with this Bible being in much better condition, and hopefully, Lord willing, restore it to its former beauty as best as possible while protecting the gorgeous artwork that's within this. So that's all I'm really going to say on it for now. I'm going to get back with you guys once I get the new bound Bible in my possession. I'm going to be sending it off here in just a moment, and so once I send that out, I'll be doing the video and showing you what this looks like. So for you guys, it's going to be just a couple seconds, but for me, it's going to be a few weeks. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, so it's now been about 4 weeks since that first portion of the video that I filmed. Probably longer with the editing and uploading of this video, so it's been well over a month, but I won't delay it any longer. The Bible that I have received rebound is the Bible that I mentioned earlier, and this is what it looks like. It is an absolutely beautiful binding. I absolutely love it. I'm very happy with it. A nice dark brown cow leather on there with really strong and sturdy book boards. You can see the spine has some raised portions that are just beautiful and very well done. They have Biblia Sacra on there. You can customize what you put on the spine there, so I wanted it to be in Latin. Of course, I might have a more fitting title, but I thought this was applicable and helpful for this being a Latin Bible, just simple and to the point. 1498 is the year that this Bible was printed, so I have it down there below. Just a beautiful Bible. They did a wonderful job. I got this restored or rebound by Leonard's Book Restoration. You can find his website in the link below. But they do a wonderful job. This is now the second Bible that I've gotten rebound from them, and I plan to do others, because I have at least 2 Bibles that most definitely need to be rebound, and so I will eventually get those ones done. But this is a beautiful piece and has now increased the value of this Bible for sure. As you saw earlier, it was just beyond repair. It was in such horrible condition. The book boards weren't original to the 15th century binding that this would have been produced in, so I wasn't really doing anything to take away from its value. All I did is actually, I think, make it more valuable, because people would much rather have something like this on their shelf rather than a falling apart Bible that wouldn't even be able to stand because it was in such rough shape. But they were able to put the book plates on the book board, which is a really cool feature that they were able to do, taking this off of the old book board and placing it on the new one. Just an excellent job. I'm very impressed by them, and I would highly encourage you to check them out. Rebinding Bibles is a really interesting topic, as of course I mentioned in that story for the introduction portion of this video. All kinds of cool things can be found in bindings, and rebinding Bibles is a very important part of Bible history, and it's kind of becoming a lost art. So I'm hoping that with this channel I can kind of share the really fascinating details about Bibles and the history surrounding it. Just an amazing piece. I will most definitely do another video on this Bible because there's so much history surrounding it and not enough that I could talk about in this one video. So I will most definitely be doing another long form video on this. So of course, subscribe so you never miss out on content like this Bible or any other topics that I discuss. I have a wide range that I cover. I'll talk about all kinds of manuscripts or printed Bibles or different details like rebinding that I'm talking about in this video. So you'll want to miss those videos. So of course, subscribe for that. Check out the other long form videos that I've done over the years. There's a lot of really interesting content that you can see. And of course, stick around for those close-up shots so you can see what this beautiful Bible looks like with the new binding on it and all the beautiful leaves within it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.